the one thing that's really been I mean, a great and uplifting experience throughout all this, you know, since the first Pirates, has been really the people, you know, the people who have gone to see the film, you know, the audience members, and you know, we meet people on the street, whether they're 5, 25, 65, 85, you know, they've all had the same experience and they've all enjoyed it. So, I mean, that's kind of what keeps me moving forward, you know, in this crazy process. Any character that you kind of come up with or create is a piece of you, you know. You're putting yourself into that character, but there's the guise of the character. So there's a certain amount of safety in being the character, where you feel more safe being the character than you do being just you. And with a character like a Captain Jack, who can essentially set up these sort of verbal landmines around him and just kind of keep passing the absurdity ball around and the irreverence ball around and keep people guessing and keep people confused. There's great safety in that, and I learn from it, you know, me, myself, personally learn from it, and it's yeah, no, it's a real pleasure, and I do need it, you know. With the first 3, you know, the trilogy that was sort of basically, you know, there was a film called Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, and then they decided to do a second and a third, so they had to build, kind of sculpt this trilogy. And there was all these mathematics involved, you know, and subplots, trying to, we have to match this character to this character, and this has to make sense because of this. And so it became quite, well, confusing at times for the audience and for us. We were making it. But so when we sort of signed off on the fact that, okay, those stories are told, these characters are, you know, their story has been told, you know. When we approached 4 and sat down in these story meetings, the first thing that happened was, we all agreed upon was, we must destroy formula, you know. We have to kill the formula and not rely on the old gags and the old jokes and stuff like that. We owe it to the audience. We owe it to the people who paid to see these things to give them something fresh, give them a brand new pair of eyes for this, you know, a new outlook on it, and yeah, surprise them. So that was what was really, you know, pulled the trigger for me, you know. Luckily, and you know, you know, I was certainly, you know, touched and very honored that they welcomed me into the fold in terms of that process from day one on this one. It was a great experience, you know, because I could, you know, I'd always, on the first 3, I'd always throw my bits in, and I'd always kind of, you know, try to make the bottom drop out of a scene just to see where it would go, much to the chagrin of you know, sometimes other cast members or sometimes the producers or whatever, but you know, I think you got to experiment and try to expand, you know, and have a look around, see what can happen. On this one, I was able to throw it in early so that it became a part of the script, as opposed to just, you know, me showing up and going, oh, by the way, here are my changes, you know. So no, it was very helpful, I think, ultimately, and yeah, really a gas to be involved from that moment on.